Antes de começar, eu queria avisar que esse vídeo, como todos os meus vídeos, tem legenda tanto em português quanto em inglês. Para ligar a legenda é muito fácil, você vai vir aqui no canto de baixo do vídeo, tem um símbolozinho da legenda, é só você clicar e aí você escolhe a legenda em português ou em inglês, dependendo da legenda que você quiser. É muito simples, é só ir nas configurações e escolher a língua que você quer, valeu? Vamos começar então. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Carolina, but you guys already know that because of the name of this channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I learned English. I'm not really sure why I'm making this video. Like, I even made a poll on Instagram being like, hey, do you guys want me to make a video in English? Because I wanted to make a video in English, but I wanted to make it seem like it was requested. I made a poll on Instagram, most people voted yes. So I'm making this video about how I learned English. If this looks like I'm flexing, like I'm like showing off my skills or something like that, this is absolutely what this is. Because I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of the fact that I learned a second language. And it took me a long time. It took me a lot of studying. It's something that I really applied myself to, and I like to tell you guys a bit of that story about how I did it. So this is the story basically. When I was a kid, I didn't think I had to learn other languages. Like, I felt like if people wanted to talk to me, they had to speak Portuguese to me. And low-key, I wasn't that wrong. If someone comes to Brazil, it would be nice that they learn Portuguese to talk to us. But speaking a second language is actually a really useful skill. But I thought that I didn't need to learn any languages. And then my parents took me to Disneyland when I was 7. And boy was I pissed off. Because I couldn't talk to anyone. And it made me so nervous. It made me so angry that I couldn't talk to people. Like, remembering what people said to me at the time, I can understand what people said to me now because I remember what they said, but at the time I couldn't understand anything, and it made me so anxious and it made me so mad. And at 7, I was at a place that I couldn't talk to anyone, only my parents, so I felt very isolated. When I came back home, I decided, out of spite, I was going to learn English. And boy, that was a journey. The school that I went to, we had German and English as mandatory subjects. I sucked at German. Like, I'm really bad at German. I can understand a little bit. If I read German, it's easier for me to understand, but when people are talking, it's just so impossible for me. But English, I was doing really well. I got placed in an advanced class for English. We had that at my school. We had advanced classes for language classes specifically. I felt so special that I was in an advanced class. And I really paid attention. I think it was the only subject that I went to class and I was so excited to learn. I really paid attention. I did homework. But there was another thing that I did. I would come home after I had class at school and I would log onto YouTube, and this was around like before 2010 for sure. Like, I had a YouTube account and I would upload videos on my YouTube account. Those videos were lyric videos. So there was a time on YouTube where you could upload anything. And I mean anything. You could just upload whatever you wanted without copyright claims. You wouldn't get people like coming after you because you were using their content. I'm not saying that you should use other people's content, but YouTube used to be a land with no rules. And so I would upload entire albums. Like, I'd get each song and I'd go on Movie Maker. Oh my god, I loved Movie Maker so much. And I'd make lyric videos. So basically what I would do was I'd listen to the song and I write down the lyrics as I thought I'd heard them. And then I would go online and I'd check if I heard the lyrics right. And so I would correct the words that I got wrong, and that's how I studied, and that's how I got used to like listening to English. That's really how I got used to listening to the language, to listening to people speak. I used music as a learning tool, actually. So that was me on YouTube. I used to have a YouTube channel when I was like 12, and I was striving. No one was doing YouTube at the time, and I actually deleted that channel, which was really dumb, but that's beyond the point. So another thing about my journey is that at my school we did the Cambridge tests. So the Cambridge tests are basically these exams that tell you what speaking level you're in. They are for life. If I got a Cambridge test this year, I could use it for the rest of my life, and it was still proof that I can speak English. Basically what happened was that I got obsessed with taking Cambridge tests. I really did. I don't remember the names now, but I took all of them. I got obsessed with them because every time I got a perfect score on a Cambridge test, it made me feel so validated. Like, this is something that I studied for and that I really like. This is a language I really like and I'm doing really well on it, and I have like a test to prove that I'm really good at it, and I felt really great about it. And then I decided to take CPE. CPE is a certificate of proficiency in English. It is the last Cambridge test and it is the most difficult. And usually only teachers take CPE, or people that want to live abroad take CPE. And so I wanted to take CPE, and my teachers were like,
"Honey, you've got a big storm coming."
My teachers didn't think it was a good idea for me to take CPE, because CPE was the most difficult Cambridge test of them all. And usually only teachers and people that want to live in like English-speaking countries, as I said, take CPE. And I was only 16 at the time, I was really young, and they felt that I was going to fail. And they were wrong, because I was really in over my head with CPE. And so they said to me, "Carol, you want to take CPE, there's a chance you're going to fail. And if you do fail, we don't want you to feel like you're less than, like you're not a good student, like you're not a good speaker. We just want you to know that if you fail, all of us, we took that test. We got a B+, we got C's, we didn't get A's. If you do it and you fail, it's not a problem. It doesn't mean you're not good at English. It just means this is a really difficult test." I still wanted to do it. Like, I felt challenged by that. I still wanted to do it. So I asked my mom if I could take the test because it was really expensive, and she also thought it was a bad idea, but she believed in me. She said, "Okay, you want to do this, you go and do this." And so she paid for it. And I spent a whole year studying for it, like a whole year. They even gave me a special book to study CPE. Each of the Cambridge tests has a specific book that you use to study. They gave me the CPE book, and they had those CDs with like people talking, and then you had to like do exercises and what they were saying and stuff like that. And I studied for a whole year. It finally got to the day that I was going to take CPE. When I got there, I was the only teenager there. Like, everyone else was like an adult, teachers and stuff like that, like I said before, and I felt very intimidated. And so I was gonna start taking a test. I was so nervous. They handed me the test. I opened it and it looked really easy, like suspiciously easy, like something is wrong here. Easy. I start taking the test and I'm like, okay, I know this. I know all of this stuff. This isn't as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. And I'm getting confident, you know, I'm getting confident, but it was really way easier than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I'm not bragging here. I was very surprised when I took the test because everyone told me it was gonna be so difficult. The test had a multiple choice part. It had a written essay. We had to actually write 2 essays. One was like a book review that they give you a synopsis for the book, and then you had to make a review based on that synopsis. And the other one, I don't remember if it was a letter. I think it was a letter. I'm not sure now. And then you had the speaking part. And for the speaking part, you were paired up with someone else. That shook me. Like, I was shook because I took the test with a woman that was gonna go live in England. She was married to an Englishman and she was gonna live in England, so her accent was perfect. I was shocked, and like, I did my best to speak with my kind of American, kind of like something accent. I don't know what I sound like. People have told me I sound Australian. I've never been to Australia, but okay. So I took the test. After that, it took a few months for me to get the result. I had left the school that I went to. I had gone to a different school at the time, and so I got a call from my old school saying, "Hey, we have your diploma here. We have your CPE diploma." And I was like, cool, okay. When can I go get it? And they said, "We're gonna have a ceremony to deliver these diplomas. Do you wanna come?" And I was like, sure, I'll go. I didn't know why I needed to go, like I just wanted to get my diploma, but I said yes. So I went there and I sat in the auditorium and they were handing out these diplomas one by one, like from the easiest level to the most difficult. The teachers were handing it out, and then it finally came time for me to get my CPE diploma. And so they call up to the stage this guy from Cambridge, like the Cambridge University representative in Brazil. And I'm like, oh shit, I think I know where this is going. And so the guy walks up to the stage and he says that he's going to deliver the CPE diploma to one student, to one very special student. And I'm like, oh boy, I know what's going on now. This is about me, isn't it? And so they call me up on stage and I go on stage and I'm not wearing a uniform because I don't even go to that school anymore. So I go on stage and I pick up my diploma, I take it out of the envelope, and when I look at it, I aced it. I got an A. My teachers told me that the highest grade they got was a B. I got an A. And when I looked at it, I started crying because I got so emotional. I started crying. And I got my diploma. They told me to do a speech. And so I decided to do a speech. I did a speech in both English and Portuguese. And I talked about how I was so grateful for my teachers because they were so great to me, that I was so grateful for my parents. And then I said, thank you, Dad, for studying with me, for spending all those hours listening to those CPE CDs, and for like spending this time with me. And then I said, thanks, Mom, for paying for this. I said that. I deadass said that. I said, thanks, Mom, for paying for this. If I were my mom, I would have walked away. Honestly, I have no idea how I didn't walk away. So this is my story, I guess. This is my story. This is how I learned English. I still study to this day, like not picking up books and stuff, but I try to keep in contact with the language every day. I'm listening to music, watching videos on YouTube. I try to stay in constant contact with the language. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more videos in English, I would like to, so leave a comment down below telling me what you thought. So I guess this is it. This is the end of the video. See you in the next one.